All right. It is. Can you believe it's day 8? It's the 8th card that we are going through. And I know I'm like saying that now. At some point we are going to be on like card 30. So hi, I'm Izzy, and this is Decoding Business Wisdom. So I'm going through these quotes, and I really want to take a deeper dive with you. And I want to get your thoughts on these as well. So today's quote, let's start. Most of the important things in the world have been accomplished by people who have kept on trying when there seemed to be no hope at all. Good morning. Good morning. So I'm curious your thoughts on this quote. So I do have two screens. So if you see me looking back and forth, most of the important things in the world have been accomplished by people who have kept on trying when there seems to be no hope at all. Have you been that person before where you've kept on trying and there seems to be no hope and no one seems to see what you can see? Um, and sometimes, when you are this person, right? Yeah, there's hope for you, right? There's hope for you, and maybe there's this bigger thing in the world that you're pursuing, or there's this career that you're pursuing. Maybe it's your business that you're pursuing, or maybe it's a volunteer opportunity that you're pursuing. And people just don't seem to have the same level of hope that you do because, again, you see something that they don't see. And maybe that's not necessarily a visual with our eyes that we see. Maybe it's something that we feel. And you know, if it wasn't for these people, and my new word, if you all, or my new like combo of words, is relentless tenacity. If it was not for these people that had this feeling of never giving up, this feeling of relentless tenacity, the people, and I can't remember which business it was, but it was something really crucial. And I know you're like, dun dun dum. But there was a person, I mean, they went to the bank to get loans, and this was back in the like early 1900s, bank to get loans like 30 times of being rejected so that they could get the loan to create the product that they needed to create. What if like Steve Jobs and Apple or Microsoft and all these things that we're running on every day, what if they decided not to pursue this wild and crazy dream that they might have? So I ask you today with this quote, do you have something that you are relentlessly pursuing? And the things that you seem to feel like you never want to give up on, the things that are so big that you're like, I have to do this. Are you doing it from, are you ready? Are you doing it from a space of fear, or are you doing it from a space of love? So many of us get caught up in motivation that is inspired by scarcity, procrastination, and waiting to the last minute because we have not programmed ourselves to think bigger and to work off of a space of prevention or proactive, to work from a space of love. And I've been told, and you all can let me know this too. I've been told, like, well, Izzy, you use the word love, and maybe everyone doesn't understand the way that you use the word love. But that's from that space of hope and faith and trust and believing that there is just more. So let's read this one more time. Most of the important things in the world have been accomplished by people who have kept on trying, relentless tenacity, when there seemed to be no hope at all. They had an attitude of never giving up. So I'm curious. What are you pursuing at the moment? And is it sometimes it's like, I want to pursue something with that energy. I want to have that energy for something. But what? What's getting in your way? And sometimes that can be, well, I don't know what my purpose is. I feel like, I have to just do these things. I have to just survive. So noticing, when are you getting caught up in this survival? Can we take a moment to sit down and connect with ourselves in a deeper way, breathe into it, right? Yeah, myself is getting in the way. We are the biggest obstacle. And it's not a mantra that we need to say. It's not another affirmation that we need to say. It's not, I need to read a bunch of quotes and get myself motivated. What it really truly is that we need to create the space and time to sit our butts down, whether it be on the chair or the floor, and breathe. Breathe. We have got to get ourselves out of survival mode and into abundance so that we can think and function from a higher level. So this is something key that is going to be within the chapter of the anthology that's coming out soon. And okay, great. So great comment. Pushing forward out of fear. But pushing is another scarcity word. Allowing is an abundant word. So we have to allow, we have to open up. When we push, that's another tense, rigid word that goes in the category of scarcity and survival mode. We have to just push through it, right? These are things that we are taught because our society teaches us survival mindset. Because when we are in survival mindset, we buy more. When we're in survival mindset, we take more anxiety medications and we eat more foods that we shouldn't eat. So then we buy more diet programs. All of this is a perpetual cycle. Allowing ourselves to open up. And it's a different concept. I'm fully aware of that. Opening up. Right? Like, have you tried yoga and savasana when you're laying in it's savasana and you have to wait maybe 5-10 minutes. For some of us, that might be more depending on the day you had too. And at some point, something releases and it's almost like you're floating or you're just sitting in this warm cloud of love and you're just like, oh, this is like the sweet spot. This is amazing. I wish I could tap into this more. And sometimes that can take 20 minutes of being in it before you get to that feeling. Because what we're having to do is release the edges and open up. We're having to let go. We're having to allow. When we get into a space of allowing, to a space of abundance, we start making choices. We start having responses versus reactions. But we get into a space of making choices from our higher self, our abundant self. But we are making choices and creating and doing all of these things when we're sitting in survival mode. And you can notice this by your breathing. Your prana, your energy is able to be tapped into through your breath. When you are breathing from here, from this chest area, when it's shallow, when you're like, well, I barely even feel my breath at all. That's typically a warning sign that you're over in survival mindset. But when our breath is deep and full and comes down to our belly and you're like, that feels impossible for me some days or most days or whatever that might be for you. Yeah. Oh, that's great. It's a very beautiful insight. If you've been in survival mode for 20 years, you think you need some rewiring. Yes. Now you can do this rewiring on your own, but what I really highly recommend is that you do it in community, that you do it in a container, because, and I even do this. I do this too. For me to sit and hold the own space for me, if I'm holding a space of survival, it becomes a lot more challenging. And I start getting this agitated, jittery feeling. And I'm like, I want to get up. And it's really easy to just get up and get out of it and go back to survival mode because your brain's going, well, survival mode's where we feel safe. That's what we're used to. Don't go do this other thing. We don't know what this other thing is. So when you can go hold space, and that means, maybe it's going to a yoga class, maybe it's joining a meditation, maybe it's going and getting some Reiki or some energy work done. Maybe it's, joining some type of program. It could be many different things. But we have to work on this. We have to have relentless tenacity. We have to have so much love for it and going, I can heal the world one person at a time, and it starts with me. Because when I let my light shine, I don't dim other people's lights. When I let my light shine, I should set an example to encourage other people to let their light shine. When I let my light shine, I can ignite other people's lights. Right? It's kind of like on the birthday, you light one candle and then you're trying to light the other candles. But if that little candle is like some flimsy, crappy wax, that doesn't always work out so well. That's our foundation. Are you a nice solid candle ready to light these other candles? Or do you need to work on more rewiring, reprogramming yourself? So something you can easily do. One of the meditation programs I used to teach it was like 10 minutes a day. Just set a timer for 10 minutes a day, sit with your breath and just practice bringing that breath all the way down to your belly. If your mind wanders, you catch it, you bring it back to the breath, and you do that for 10 minutes every single day. That's it. Because we have to take action. Action, allowing, abundance. We have to move into that direction. All right. If you would like to learn more and more about this, then keep following, because I've got lots of more quotes that we're talking about. And I love talking about this stuff. I love helping people step back into their light, because yes, you have one. Yes, you've been in it at some point. It might have been when you were a kid and someone snuffed your light out, but you can relight your light. You have that power in within you. And if you don't feel like you do, it's just because someone's made you feel that way, or many people have made you feel that way. But you can get that light back. You can relight it. You are not broken. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow. This is day 8 of Decoding Business Wisdom. The message today is to never give up, but to never give up from a space of love rather than fear. That we don't need to cling on to things to hold on to them, that we can just allow and be in the same space as it. All right. I'll see you later.